Okay guys, I'm gonna get ready to do a back workout and maybe some biceps. Let's see if I can get through it. So if you guys are wondering, I use Mutant Madness for my pre-workout, and here's the scoop that I used to take when I was younger, but here's the scoop now that I take because I'm older. So I don't like to do the whole entire scoop because I just can't handle that caffeinated feeling anymore. But the reason why I like Madness is because it gives me good concentration as well, and I like that mental focus to get through my workouts. And then I get more concentration because I use smart water. Okay. And here's the thing, I like to dilute my pre-workout a lot because unlike most of you, I don't dry shoot it, or I don't drink it all one time. I like to sip my pre-workout while I train. And that's not even enough water, so I'm gonna have to get more smart water. But that's my pre-workout. Alright, let's go get some training in. Welcome to GOI Fitness. This is where all the magic happens. This is where you can train hard, sweat hard, grow muscles, lose fat.
Oh, hi.
Making sure you're doing your cardio.
I'm doing it. Yes, get it.
Hands on the rail.
No hands on the rail. No hands on the rail.
I like to get into the bent over rows, and we're gonna start off with that. We're gonna do some wide grip, and we're gonna do some inside grip, bent over rows. So this is the plate loaded T-bar roll, and I'm just gonna grab a 35-pound plate. And a lot of you guys are probably wondering, 35-pound plate, what the hell? Can't you grab a 45-pound plate? I like to go light, and the reason why is because, you know, as I got older, I endured a lot of injuries. So I have a herniated disc from my C6 and C7. I pretty much herniated almost every disc in my cervical spine. I also have a dislocated lumbar spine as well, so I'm trying to get through that injury. But for my workouts, it really had forced me to focus on more time with attention and muscle contraction versus moving a lot of heavy weight. So I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate how I use the T-bar roll for my back workouts. And I like to sit back whenever I train with this T-bar roll because I can get a better stretch, full range of motion, and a lot of squeezing on the top. Foot placement is always important. As you guys all know, training always starts from the ground up. I like to grab about shoulder width, not too wide. Another reason why I grab shoulder width is because I recently injured my tricep. So I tore my lateral head tricep. You can kind of see the scar there. And the tendon almost came off the olecranon bone, but it was hanging on by a few fibers. So if you look closely enough, you can see that I have an arterion graft on there, which reinforced the tricep muscle. I had that surgery about maybe 8 weeks. And so I'm still healing, but I feel like the muscle is ready to go. All right. I like to keep my back straight. Again, I like to lean back, get a full stretch, and pull. I like to squeeze on the top, get my lats up there. Now, I usually do about 12 repetitions. And so that's pretty much it. What I also like to incorporate into my training, because I'm not going so heavy, is I like to do a lot of supersets. So what I'll normally do with the T-bar workout is I'll do a wider grip and then I'll immediately get right into a closer grip so I can focus more on my inner lats. And so it's this machine, because you have different grips on it, it allows you to do that. Woo. That's a good burn. So for this T-bar row, what I normally like to do is 3 sets. Again, superset. I like to do 12 reps with a wide grip and 12 reps with a close grip. Another benefit of me transitioning to lighter weights is my ability to refrain from screaming like a girl and making a lot of noise by dropping heavy weights on the ground. And when I was younger, that was the thing. But now, the challenge for me is, how quiet can I be when I train? Can I be as quiet as a mouse? Like my good friend Alan Ichinose. He used to squat 5 plates on the squat bar and not make a peep. So that's my challenge. Once I'm done with the T-bar rows, I like to get onto another lat workout machine. And the one that I like is the single arm lat pull, which is also a plate loaded machine. And I've transitioned from the dumbbell rows to the single arm lat pull machine because for me, I feel like I can get into a better angle, and ergonomically I can eliminate a lot of the pressure on my low back, which is important for me because of my dislocated lumbar area. So let's go ahead and check out the single arm row. So this is the Muscle D bent over single arm row plate loaded machine, and I'm just using 25-pound plates, and I feel like for me the 25-pound plate is enough for me to really focus on my lats and get that nice good squeeze in. If you're loading this machine up with 2, 3, 4 45-pound plates and you're not catching that lat, then your workout is wasted. So my advice to you is find a weight that can challenge you, but at the same time will allow you to be able to squeeze and focus on that muscle group that you're working on. And put the blindfolds on, put the earphones on, clear your mind and forget about what anybody else is thinking about you when you put weights on a machine. Because obviously if your bodybuilding is very different in respects to how much weight you're gonna put on a machine versus if you're a powerlifter. 2 totally different things, okay? All right, here we go. Okay, so what I basically did was I did 3 sets, 10 reps on each arm, and I did it without stopping or resting in between sets. And the reason why is because, again, you know, the weight is manageable for me. It's not something that I'm going to struggle with, but at the same time, it's enough weight for me to get a good squeeze, good contraction, and it also gives me the ability to really focus on my lats, so I could feel every single rep throughout that workout. And again, for you guys, it's all about trial and error. You know, you can try it with 45 pound plate. You know, some of you guys are super strong. I think the main thing is that you just want to make sure that when you're hitting every single rep that you can squeeze, you can contract, and you get a nice full stretch with your elbows back, and you can also create that mind muscle connection, which is going to allow your lats to grow. Okay, so for the next exercise, again, we're going to do single arm pull downs on a plate loaded isolateral machine. And I like to do isolateral stuff only because in bodybuilding the judges will also focus on symmetry, and you want to get that muscle equality throughout your physique. Right. I'm using 35 pound plates because I feel like the 35 pound plates don't get enough love. I feel like most people use 45 pound plates because that's all they can count nowadays, or 25s. But I feel like the 35 pound plates is like the stepchild that got lost. So we're gonna give the 35-pound plate some love today. Okay, so that was 3 sets, 10 reps on each arm. Again, didn't rest in between sets, we went right through it. So the objective for me was to really be able to focus on my lats and squeeze. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but towards about maybe 30% of the last foot of the elbow back, I was really trying to focus on, you know, squeezing that lat as hard as I could. But I also wanted to make sure that I had control when I was getting that full stretch back up. The challenge for me, because of my tricep injury, is that if I break form and I start pulling with my upper arm versus my lats, the tricep engages and I can feel that sharp pain kicking in. So I guess in a weird way, this tricep injury forced my mind to really focus on squeezing my lats. So I'm really trying my hardest to be more strategic in my weight training and really isolate the muscle group versus just pulling and jerking weight around. So the next exercise that we're gonna do is I'm gonna do some shoulder width lat pull downs, and then we'll see how I feel after that. Maybe we'll do some deadlifts just because I miss it, and then we'll do some curls, some bicep curls. And I have to look at my wife because she's thinking, what do you mean you're gonna do deadlifts? You haven't deadlifted in over how many years? But I used to deadlift a lot before and I love it. So we're gonna try and see if we can get some. Okay, so for all of you short guys like me, all of the vertically challenged guys, let me show you a hack. Putting on these attachments to the cable that seems very far away and hard to reach. So you can see how, for me, I can't even have a hard time doing this, right? Not only have a hard time lifting the bar up, but you know, I see some guys, they'll stand up on the seat, they'll stand up on this, try to get up, but don't do that. That's very dangerous. So this is what you do. You pull the pin out, okay? Grab the cable right here. You pull this cable up, you re-engage the pin, and you drop this down, and now the cable's right here. How simple is that? Put your attachment on, hold on to your bar or your attachment, lift this up, drop this back in, select the weight you want, and now we're good to go. Look at that, magically it's ready. I was that one guy that used to step on the chair all the time, leave my dirty footprint on it. All right, here we go. I'm gonna do some lat pull downs, about shoulder width. It's just a finisher for me. I do about 3 sets, 15 reps. I like to get under here. I like to get under that bar so I can really pull and squeeze. Whoa. Get that full stretch up. Oh. All right, so we're gonna try and deadlift. This is actually a long bar. So this bar is a few inches longer than your standard bar, and this bar is so it's more whippy. It's a lot more whippier. Is that even a word? Whippier. But I'm gonna try and deadlift. I'm not gonna go heavy. Maybe at the most 225. So I'm sorry if the video is not exciting, but yeah, I'm not gonna go heavy on this. I'm gonna focus more on just, you know, my deadlift form because I haven't deadlifted in a while. I'll take my shoes off. I like to be flat-footed. I like to do conventional deadlifting. I like to do overhand grip. I have to do my thumb grip, but probably don't need this because it's so light. It's okay. Just want to make sure my back can hold on. Yeah. Ooh. So that felt good. Super light, but felt good anyway. I think we're just gonna do 2 sets of this. Deadlifting will take a lot out of you, trust me. Especially after a back workout. Okay. Normally you start with deadlifting and then you go to your back workout. I did the complete opposite. So I'm already winded. So I'm just gonna slap on 225. See how that feels. So I'm really trying to focus on a lot of the explosion on my legs, only because I have a lot of upper body injuries. I have spinal injuries, I have my torn tricep that I just got repaired. And I also have on my left upper extremity of my shoulder, I have a slap tear. And I also have a biceps tendon tear, which needs to get attention soon. We postponed the surgery for my left shoulder so we could focus on my my tricep, but probably not going to do the left shoulder until 2026, which is next year. But with all the injuries, it really changes your mindset when it comes to training. Injuries are real, guys, like, you know, and once you get injured, it's really hard to get back. But the main thing is that you work out with a different mindset. You work out and you train within your capabilities, and you modify your training based upon the injuries that you have. So you want to work with the injuries, you don't want to work against it. So we're gonna put 225 on and see how that feels. Okay, here we go. All right. I'm gonna stop at lucky number 7. We're good. So actually it felt pretty good, but on that 7 rep, I could feel a little bit of the tricep kicking in. I think it's because my grip has gotten weaker. So when I was trying to squeeze the bar a little bit tighter, I think it actually probably engaged the tricep a little bit. So maybe the next time I deadlift, I'll use some straps. So I'm gonna do maybe 3 sets of preacher curls using the pin loaded machine. And again, I don't like to go heavy. 70 pounds at the most. I have to be really careful with the range of motion on this machine, and the only reason why is because I don't want to hyperextend. I don't want to hyperextend my arm too much, and the reason why is because of my biceps tendon tear. So I like to do more short control repetitions, and you'll see that, but really focus on the contraction on the top, because I don't have any problem squeezing with the biceps tendon tear. The problem kicks in when the bicep tendon stretches out. So again, modification of the workout to work around the injury, but still be able to train and still be able to get that good pump in the biceps. Another thing that I have to be careful when I'm doing preacher curls is, because we have the pad that my elbows are on, is my triceps, because and because of the graft in there. So when I'm doing the repetition, I can actually feel it, and sometimes it gets a little aggravated, so I have to be careful. I have to go nice and slow. I don't want to go fast. The triceps helps the upper arm extend, so I have to also be careful when I extend out, because I don't want the tricep to extend to the point where it could potentially snap off. So I want to be careful too, and that's why I don't use a lot of weight. Again, 70 pounds is my maximum on the pin loaded machine. There we go. This is number 2.
Ready? I used to break times like this, to rhyme like this, so I had to rhyme like that. Time I spit, like the ready way to cut like on wrist. See my dreams are full, name is untrue. It was primary again. I said, yeah, I do. If you want it, you gotta see it, but it's there. It's good, but time blessing like the way I do. Sneak, please, please, and get great. Never let them get in the
Okay, so I have one more set, and then I'm finished with the workout. And for this last set on the preacher curl, I'm gonna actually do single arm. I want to get a little bit of isolateral movement in for my biceps. So just to kind of backtrack. So we started off with the T-bar row. We did a wide grip and an inside grip, and that was a superset. We did 12 reps of each, 3 sets. And then we went to the single arm plate loaded row, and we did 3 sets of 10 reps non-stop, back and forth. And then we went to the single arm pull down plate loaded machine, and that was also 3 sets of 10 reps non-stop back and forth. And then we did some shoulder width lat pull downs. We did 3 sets of 15 reps, super lightweight. And then we did some deadlifts. We did only 2 sets because I was gassed out already. So the first set was 135. I think we did like 10 reps, and then the second set was 225, and I did 7 reps. So at that point, we kind of feel the tricep injury kicking in, so I had to stop. You always got to listen to your body. Always be smart. You have to always trust what your body is telling you so you can live to fight another day. And then the last workout, just wanted to get some pump into the bicep. So the pin loaded preacher curl, 2 sets of 12 reps with double arm, and then I'm going to do a single arm preacher curl, and I'm going to do about 10 to 12 reps. And then after that, I'm going to do the last thing that most of you guys probably don't do, but you should. I'm going to do some cardio. I'm going to walk on the treadmill, nothing crazy. I'm going to do a 1-degree incline, just so I feel like I'm walking a little bit uphill. And then I'm probably going to do 45 minutes at a speed of about 2.5. And I could go faster, but while I'm on the treadmill, I also like to do work. So I don't feel like I'm actually doing cardio. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. If you guys want to try out this workout, go ahead and try it. If you guys have questions, let me know. First and foremost, whether you're training at GY Fitness or any other gym, don't forget to wipe down your machines and re-wrap your weights. See you guys later.